Hello friends, today we are going to divide nodes into maximum number of groups by LeetCode. Let's first make graph using default dict of list and group as -1 into n. Now let's fill our graph, but here the nodes will be from 0 to n-1. For that we will do graph of u-1 dot append v-1. Similarly for v. Okay, now let's make a function is bipartite which accept node as a parameter, run a for loop for neighbor in graph of node, then check if group of neighbor equal group of node, then we will simply return false. After this, check if group of neighbor is not equal to -1, then we will simply continue. Otherwise, group of neighbor equals to 1 minus group of node. And after this we will check if not of is bipartite of neighbor, then we will return false. In the end, simply return true. Now let's make a function BFS which accepts start as a parameter, q equal dec with starting node. After this, visited as boolean array with false each value. After this, depth equals 0 and mark the visited of start equal true. Now let's run a while loop while q. After this, run a for loop for I in range length of q. After this, run for each loop for neighbor in graph of node. Now check if not of visited of neighbor, then visited of neighbor equal to true. After this, q dot append neighbor in end of the for each loop and for loop, so depth plus equal 1. In the end, simply return depth. Now depth equals BFS of node for node in range n. Now another function get groups which accept node as a parameter and then mark visited of node equal true in the global visited variable. After this, initialize max group equals depth of node. Now for neighbor in graph of node, check if not visited of neighbor, then maximum groups equal maximum of maximum groups comma get groups of neighbor. In the end, simply return max group. So let's assign groups to the nodes. For node in range n, if group of node is not equal to -1, then continue. Otherwise, group of node equal to 0. And after this, check if not of is bipartite, then simply return -1. After this loop, max group equals to 0 and visitor equals to array of boolean as false. After this, for node in range n, if not of visited of node, then maximum groups plus equals get groups of node. In the end, return maximum group. Okay friends, see you later. Bye bye.